Hello, I'm Michelle Wright. I run an organisation called Cause4. I wanted to talk about the unpredictability that we're facing with COVID-19 and how we're managing working at home with running our business. I'm a single mum of two small children, so it's been particularly interesting thinking about how I continue to keep working, maintain the business, as well as homeschooling two small children who are under 5. So here are a few thoughts about things that I've done. The first thing is that a change has to be as good as a rest. We remember that old adage, and it's really come home to me just how important that is. We can't get out of our home environments, that's where we're working, but even on normal times, when I found that I was commuting long days into London, that change, that space away from small children actually gave me loads of energy, and of course patience for them when I'm back with the children and being their mum. So we have to try and get change, even if it's changing where we're working into a different space in the house, if we're going to work in the garden, or we're able to go and work in a coffee shop, as long as it's socially distanced, that we can do things that get us out of a rut, out of a routine. The other thing I've been thinking about is that 80% has to be good enough. My goodness, you can feel like you're failing on all fronts when you're faced with situations like running a business as well as homeschooling. So very early in the morning, I'd pick a few things out of the school's work list and make sure that my children had done those. And I similarly picked a couple of things out of my work list. I knew that I couldn't do it all, so I had to make sure that I wasn't relying or trying even to be a perfectionist. We have to just make sure that what we can achieve is good enough and we don't give ourselves too hard a time. The other book that I loved early on in my career was a book by Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog. It's a really tongue-in-cheek, silly book that just says if you pick the worst thing you have to do in a day, if you eat the smelliest, ugliest frog, then your whole day will progressively get better. I've really returned to this in lockdown because I can procrastinate as much as the next person, but even worse when I was working from home. So now I pick the worst thing that's on my to-do list, I eat that frog, and I hope that the day then gets progressively better as we go on. It's really tough at the moment for everybody. I just think by changing our routine, by doing something different, by not giving ourselves too hard a time, then hopefully we can survive and get through into the next stage.